Hello everybody, welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake. I just got home from work and we got a delivery in the driveway. Let me show you what we got. So, as you can see, we got two big pallet forks and a big box. It was snowing a little bit earlier, but it looks like there's a pallet frame or pallet fork frame in there with two 48-inch long forks. I've been wanting a second set of forks for a while, and Yintatech was nice enough to send me a set to try out here on the channel. So I'm gonna go grab the tractor and we are gonna use them to load up some firewood totes today. All right guys, so I'm gonna pull these out here. There's one fork and here's a second. Now, you might be asking, Jake, you only have one tractor. Why do you need two sets of pallet forks? Well, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the set of pallet forks that I have are not very long. I think they're like 32 inches long or something like that. Whereas these are 48 and are rated for more weight. I think these are like 4,000 pound heavy duty like skid steer pallet forks. I don't think I need any of this stuff. So it's gonna be nice to have the extra length of the tines to be able to fully go underneath the totes and fully support them on the crossbars instead of with the shorter pallet forks, they kind of poke up underneath the bottom. It's probably not something that you guys notice, but I notice it. I'm gonna go grab some clips and we should be good. So it's starting to now snow. Just got some little wire clips. I'm thinking this thing is probably pretty heavy. Oh yeah, it's definitely heavy. I don't know which way is forward versus back. So, let's see. Just gonna kind of pull it out and lean it up against the forks. Hopefully, it'll support itself. So, let's get this open. I mean, pallet forks don't really have much to them. I'm guessing should just be pretty straightforward. Oh, okay, of course, they're upside down. Great. All right, well, could deal with that. Get rid of the styrofoam. I hate styrofoam. Stuff sucks. All right, well, these certainly look pretty beefy. Customer service, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Throw that out. Oh, it looks like the two steps might need to be bolted on. But wow, this frame is at least is a lot bigger than the ones that I currently have. Okay. All right, well, there we go. So now I guess gotta unscrew these. These are steps. It looks like the hardware is included. That'll be nice. My old forks don't have steps. And it looks like, I mean, I'm not a farmer, but they do have the ability to put in like hay bale spears here, which is a feature that, again, like I'm not ever going to use, but if you are a farmer or do have animals, that is a nice feature. All right, we are back. It is a 9/16 socket and wrench that we need. Now, I don't know, these steps don't look super, I mean, they're a little bit flimsy, but I'm guessing, you know, if you step on it, one, you're probably not like 1,000 pounds, and two, all of the weight is going down on it. So I'm sure, you know, these would be adequate to support the average size human. So just by looking at it, I mean, the fit and finish. I can't speak for the fit, but the finish looks to be okay. It's kind of like a lightly textured powder coat. The box, you could probably tell, got pretty beat up in shipping. So there's a couple little scuffs on the paint and stuff, but I mean, they're pallet forks, so that stuff's kind of going to happen. Not too worried about that. It's not going to affect the performance at all of the pallet forks, so let's tighten these up. You know what? That is definitely not a 9/16. That is definitely metric. All right, let me go get the proper metric size. This is what you get for Russian. We're not Russian, we're American. If you can't tell, it is now sleeting / snowing. So that's fun. All right, so while it's not a 9/16, it is indeed a 14 millimeter. So now that we have the appropriate tools, we should be able to get these snug down. Okay, one step. That's pretty solid. I mean, I'm not going to stand on it because it's not attached to anything, but okay. Second step is on. I think we are ready to put that on the tractor and see how it fits. Now, this might be a little tough considering there's nothing on the front. Got to be pretty gentle here. Okay, there we go. Cool. So, I guess the final test, yeah, locks right in. They are on there solid. Let's get this box out of the way here. Now with these forks, if I remember the old, or the Kubota set, you gotta, I mean, these things are heavier than they look, but I think you have to put it on the top first, and then there's kind of a slit, yeah, in the bottom where they slide, or where it allows it. Here, let me see if I can. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that cutout there in the bottom, but you have to put the top part on first, and then the bottom lip kind of falls through that slit in the fork frame, and then you are able to probably could use some greasing. However, yeah, there we go. As it, wears away the paint, I'm sure it'll get easier. But, okay, let's get the second one on here. Okay, just like that. Yeah, cool. So now you can kind of slide the forks to whatever position you want. I'm gonna say probably need them over a little bit. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. So they are on. Very cool. Let me back the tractor up so we can get a better look. But I like how this pallet frame is so high. It's much taller than my other Kubota set. Much taller. And for those wondering, here's the step. They ain't going nowhere. So what I can already tell from sitting on the tractor just for that split second is that with these longer pallet forks, you can actually see the tips of the pallet forks much better than my shorter ones. Like much better, because they stick out like at least another foot. So I'm excited to give these a try. Let's go try it out. before we load up the totes onto the flatbed, we have to dump the chips in the dumpster can and then put the flatbed on the back of the truck, take off those 2 empty totes. So we got some shuffling stuff. Let me warm up the truck and we'll get going. Oh boy, that was that was close. I just drove the International back here and backed it up to where I'm gonna dump these chips, fill in this area, and by accident went a little too far. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear, and went off the millings, and somehow I was able to get out. I stalled it in first gear, trying to slowly not spin the tires up the asphalt millings twice, and third time was a charm. So I'm going to very carefully, slowly creep back and probably shift the jib on the truck back just to get the can back as far as we can onto the leaves here. Now, by now, you guys have already seen the video where we cut down all of these trees for the expansion to the Woodyard. We have this nice pile of logs. I'm actually gonna be having a gentleman come this afternoon while I'm doing this, actually like in a half an hour, to take a look at the job of stumping it and leveling it all out and like burying the rocks and stuff. It's not ideal that I'm dumping the chips here, but I figure it's not really gonna hurt much if they're gonna come in with a big machine anyway. I mean, there's already a bunch of chips and stuff here, so what's one more load really gonna do? I could be totally off base in saying that. I am by no means an excavator, but I don't really have many other places that I can dump the chips, and I feel like over here having them, even if it is like temporarily to have them, it could fill in a little bit and give me some storage. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we got that pile dumped. Now we're going to bring the truck back up, drop the dumpster can, and pull out the flatbed. That way we can unload those 2 empty totes that are on it and load up 2 full totes. All right, good stuff. We're gonna free up these 2 totes. I pulled the truck up, that way I could get the tractor through to grab those new Yintatech 48-inch pallet forks, and we'll get these puppies out of here. I'm just gonna take the strap off. Now, the delivery today is for 2 small totes. The same gentleman's buying them both, but one's going to his place of work and the other is going to his house. So I guess they have fires at work. That's pretty cool. I wish I had fires at work. Well, I guess I kind of do sometimes. All right, let's go get these forks. All right, guys, so they work pretty well. I gotta definitely adjust getting used to them because they're a lot longer, but so far so good. Okay guys, that last clip was a little cut short because the guys came to look at stumping this area in the Woodyard for the expansion. So should hear back a number from them in a couple days. But so far, we hauled those 2 totes behind me back with the Yintatech forks. And even those guys commented on how tall this fork frame is. It's pretty nice. We're gonna try and pick up the first full tote here. So here we go. It's definitely also, I got to adjust, if I'm going to be using these more often, which I think I will, I have to adjust my bucket level indicator because since these things are longer, level is a little, askew from, the old fork. So here we go. Okay, so I did this before. What I'm finding is because these forks are longer and my bucket level indicator is a little off, they're actually going underneath the front bar of the tote instead of up in the gap. So I gotta be cognizant of that. I'm gonna try and fix that now. So yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. So now the forks are sticking well out past the front of the tote and they are fully supported by that front bar as opposed to being in and pushing up on the floor of the tote. As you can see, it is snowing pretty hard here. It's coming down. So I'm gonna get these things loaded up and I gotta get going. Okay guys, we are all loaded up. Just got to get the truck hooked back up to the flatbed. But these new pallet forks are doing good. It's definitely gonna take some time to get used to them, but I like them so far. So far, so good. For those of you who might be wondering, when I deliver firewood like this in the totes, if it's going to 2 separate locations, I fully, or when possible, I drop the flatbed down to the ground just like it was, and I'm able to unload just simply standing on the ground. Don't have to worry about slipping off that narrow walkway there on the side of the flatbed. If I do need to stand on that, I can, but I generally like to drop it down. That way I'm just walking on the ground and it makes it a lot easier for unloading the totes. Well, all right, guys, that's gonna wrap this video up. It's probably gonna be dark by the time I get to unload these things, and this weather is pretty crappy, and I think it's only gonna get worse. So we're gonna end things here. I'm glad I got those loaded up. I'm glad I talked with the excavator contractors to start, hopefully, get underway this project in the Woodyard, and I am super glad that I got these new Yintatech extreme, skid steer 4,000 pound pallet forks. I will post a link to these down in the description, and there is a coupon code on Amazon if you're in the market. They make all different types of pallet forks, and attachments, I guess, for skid loaders and tractors and stuff like that. So these things are pretty cool, and I think they're going to serve me pretty well. Oh man, I just noticed that I bent the step on them, or one of the steps. Well, I should be able to bend that back without too much issue, but
I feel like I don't really need that step because I'm not on a skid steer. If these were on a skid steer, that step is helpful. For me, I don't think it's too helpful, so I might just take those off. That way it's not in the way. But yeah, these things are pretty great, and I think having the extra length of the 48-inch tines is going to be a game changer. So, as always, guys, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Any questions, comments, or feedback, throw it down in that comment section. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.